I don't know how many of these firms are left, but I worked at a commodities trading company. I think like Glencore might be the most famous, if it still exists. I think it does. Anyway, just to give, like I know a lot of young people especially want to know what it's like to work in a certain company. So this metal trading company in London, I can't remember the name of the tower we were in. It's just by Moorgate station. So the premise was the area division I was in was steel production. Now, what we did, we had links with the steel mills. So they would make the steel. There's not that many of these. I mean, they're, vast operations. They would roll it. Cold rolled steel, I think, was one of the things we traded. So we'd buy it from the mill and then sell it to, this wasn't what I expected to be doing at all. And they call it trading, and it is trading, but it's not the trading I like, where, you're on a screen. This was actual bills of lading. This is actual physical trading of steel. So anyway, we would represent these mills, and then we would represent, or we'd then contact buyers. And it was an interesting time because you had buyers that were willing to pay a higher price, and then they would fall away, and then you'd get the next lot of buyers that were willing to pay a higher price. So you'd move from one buyer to another, and you got responsibility for the producer, and then shifting his produce at the best price you could get. I struggled in the City of London because at all the companies I worked at, I found the people really distasteful. At this place, it was like nothing I've ever seen. I knew this, it was my first proper job, but I'd worked at other companies before. And the boss man would scream at the top of his lungs in your face. He never weirdly did it to me, but to everyone else, he got in their face, he screamed at them, and sometimes like spit would come out of his mouth onto the other person. I found it so gross. And it was normally over nothing. Like the guy I can't even remember, but it was like, what's he getting shouted at for? And it would be literally nothing. He's the type of chap, when he came in the morning, it's just, you're a human if you say good morning, right? You say good morning, it's polite. And he would shout back, tell me one good thing about it. I'm not kidding. That was his start to the day. I mean, if anyone deserved to reside in hell, I'd say it would be him. Anyway, the other senior management weren't much better. They all took on this persona of hyper-aggression, and it was just so bizarre. I've never witnessed anything like it. So anyway, I kept my head down, I cracked on. I had this nice guy next to me, Egyptian guy, who we got on pretty good. And as I got better, he would give me more and more of these producers, help me out with more and more of the buyers. And you just crunch out the transactions. I don't know what then happens in the background, like who arranged the actual physical delivery of the steel, because it actually had to go from there to there. So it must have got handed off to a secondary team or something. But yeah, the main point is you really need to get a feel for the culture in a place before you started there. Because I think I witnessed this boss man go bananas. And then I witnessed, he often had shouting matches right up to the face of literally his CFO, literally his the other management people. And It was really disgusting human behavior. And I think the second time I witnessed it, I was like, I'm leaving here immediately. So I tried to find another job as quickly as possible, and I left. I think I might have stayed for like a year, just over a year, because I think at that time, you know, everyone would tell you, oh, you know, you've got to like, you can't just jump jobs and this, that, and the other. So I hung around, and weirdly, I never once got this tirade. I don't know why, but pretty much everyone else did. So anyway, the point of this is, I don't know if this is common in commodities trading houses. It's definitely common around the city of London. This hyper aggressive male. So just try and get a feel when you walk in, if you're looking for work. Try and make a judgment when you look at people's faces if they're thoroughly miserable or not, because it's really important, because there's no one wants to get up and go to a job they hate. Just they're not all like this, by the way, these companies. My missus worked for consultancies, and they seemed much more humane. Like the bosses were actually humans, rather than the banking world that takes on psychopaths. So don't get me wrong, I love psychopaths, but some psychopaths are worse than others. Yeah, she had a great set of bosses, actually all the way through. Even at, she ended up, her last place was JP Morgan. I think her first place was PricewaterhouseCoopers. Always had good bosses. So that trading house for me, I was a bit unlucky. And the final hedge fund, no, sorry, the penultimate hedge fund I worked at, the boss was just a bit retarded. That was all. I'm sure he had 5% humanity in him. All right, that's it.